Kennedy cousin Michael Skakel, a stunning reversal. Now, his conviction for murder overturned. Could he now be released from prison today after spending a decade behind bars?
And that's what we're going to get to right now. It was a pretty stunning reversal last week. The prosecutors now do not want him to be released pending that retrial. ABC's Gio Benitez has all the latest.
George, good morning to you. As soon as today, the convicted killer may be released on bail after last week's stunning announcement that a Connecticut judge threw out his murder conviction. He had spent 12 years behind bars. Michael Skakel's murder conviction may now be overturned, but if prosecutors have their way, he'll stay in prison while he waits for a new trial. Skakel, nephew to Bobby Kennedy's widow Ethel, was convicted of killing his neighbor and friend, 15-year-old Martha Moxley, in 1975 on Halloween night. The murder remained a mystery until Skakel was convicted in 2002, 25 years after the murder. His sentence? 20 years to life. Moxley's brother John says the upcoming trial is opening old wounds. So this retrial, is it for you like jumping into a time machine that just keeps taking you back to this really painful time?
Oh, it's a death of a thousand cuts. Every time you do something like this, it definitely takes, hours, days off your life.
Skakel has always maintained his innocence.
What I do every day is pray to God and to Martha that whoever did this crime is brought to justice.
But why the sudden retrial now? Well, last week, a judge ruled Skakel's former lawyer, Mickey Sherman, did not provide a constitutionally adequate defense, and that the failures were significant. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who says his cousin didn't do it, agrees.
He was preoccupied with glitter and celebrity. He said at one point to the Bar Association when he spoke to them, he said he intended to have a lot of fun on this case. And, there was a man's life at stake.
Did that lawyer get caught up in the glitter and celebrity of it all?
Well, I think Mickey clearly enjoyed it, but I think that's his personality type. Did it make him a bad lawyer? No, I don't think so.
When you hear the Kennedys say that, what do you think?
I think that the Kennedys will say whatever they want to say.
And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. also told ABC News the suggestion that Skakel may get away with murder is an attractive narrative, but he says it's simply not true. He insists police got the wrong guy, George.
So many different angles here, Gio. Let's talk to our Chief Legal Affairs anchor, Dan Abrams, about this. And begin, because this is kind of confusing. People hear the conviction is overturned. Well, of course, then he has to be free, right?
No, this is not a not guilty finding by the court. What the court is saying is there were so many mistakes made by Skakel's attorney that he ought to get a new trial. For now, prosecutors immediately get the right to appeal. And what they're saying is, hold off. As a legal matter, he's not eligible for bail because now this case is in a different court, not with the judge who made this ruling. And as a result, you've got to hold off on doing anything, hold off on releasing him until that's resolved. If he is going to end up getting a new trial, meaning if he survives all these appeals, in effect, the prosecutors are saying, then let's talk about it. But not until then.
And that is really in question because this was a pretty surprising decision.
I was stunned by this. Look, I covered this whole case. Did Mickey Sherman make some choices which were questionable? Absolutely. Did this reach the level of ineffective assistance of counsel? You got to remember, ineffective assistance of counsel typically means that a lawyer was drunk, on drugs, not showing up for the case. I mean, the standard is so high.
It's not just a lawyer makes mistakes.
Right. No. And the judge kept trying to say that this isn't just about mistakes, et cetera, but it sure sounded from his ruling like he was saying he thought that Mickey made a number of mistakes. Now, I think there's an important point to make here. The Kennedy family is all saying, Michael's innocent, et cetera. This is crazy. He ought to be released. Fair enough. But what the judge is saying is that Mickey Sherman should have pointed the finger at another Kennedy relative, Tommy Skakel, Michael's brother. So for all the claims that, this has been a travesty of justice against Michael Skakel, which I know they believe it has been, what the judge is saying is that the defense team ought to have pointed the finger at Michael's brother, Tommy, in connection with this. So this is a bizarre case, bizarre ruling, but I still think it's an uphill battle for Michael Skakel to be released on bail immediately.
Okay, Dan Abrams, thanks very much.